What's up, boys? Today we're going to be doing a sort of one weapon build where we favorite one weapon and then get 3 weapons with the sidearm overclock, which increases the damage of everything but reduces that weapon's damage. And I think Weapon Specialist is the only one who can really do that because they start with a weapon that can be favorited and they add a ton of projectile weapons to the pool, so you can get a bunch of the different light weapons from like Scout and Engineer, who have a bunch for that. We're going to be hoping to get a lot of fire rate, and hopefully the Weapon Specialist passive will help out quite a bit, since the LEADSTORM is honestly one of the worst weapons in the game. But we'll see what we can do with putting everything into it here. Fire rates, I like that for the passive. Oh yeah, I have heard that there's actually a cap on the fire rate for the LEADSTORM, and it's actually not that difficult to hit. I've never done it personally. The stubby is fantastic. I was gonna mention that, but it has a pretty fast fire rate. It's a strong base weapon, so it helps out a lot with early shellbacks. It has the electrical debuff, and of course it has the sidearm overclock. Jesus, the bounces. So I think that's one of the better support weapons we could have gotten here, especially early on. This is gonna take a while. We can get the Subata from the Driller, which would cover behind us, and we can also convert it to Acid on top of Sidearm for a bit more damage amplification. Then there's a bunch of stuff from Scout, I think, that can get it. Big HP. We'll take a big reload for the stubby. Take some fire rates, we'll take a LEADSTORM level. I don't think so. Nitro Scanner, that'll be helpful. Piercing's actually pretty nice, but love me some early scanners. We'll take a decent damage on that, some nice fire rates. Yeah, my elite damage is going to be very low while I'm trying to mine. Piercing. At least now that you can get piercing on any weapon, you aren't as reliant on the piercing shots overclock for the LEADSTORM. Since I remember if you would miss that overclock, it would just be a death sentence for trying to build around it in the past. So that's a pretty nice change to it, at least. Stubby's actually weakening them quite a bit for me. I haven't seen any Morkite in a long time. I should really try and finish that. Finally! But they're getting pretty ramped up now. Let's get some pickup here. Okay, that detonator can hopefully finish it for me. It should be enough now. We'll take fire rates. See if we can get him into the detonators. We're gonna need some help now. think so. The Zukov actually used to have sidearm in the beta, I think, but it doesn't now. Burst fireworks, I think. Not one of the best ones, but still has sidearm available. We'll take some fire rate into an overclock, and that would lower the damage of my main weapon, so nope. Fire rate, pickup radius. Take fire rate into an overclock here, and there we go, sidearm for the first weapon. Fire rate.
Stage 1 completed. Well done. Taking you to stage 2.
We'll take some proj damage. I don't really think I need paint jobs for the main weapon. Some fire rate there. Bit of crit damage. Fire rates. Oh yeah, we will have light weapon upgrades unlocked, which I definitely don't want here. We don't really need paint jobs for that now that it already has sidearm. I will take some potency since we have a bunch of spare nitra.
Your mission is clear. Get to it.
We'll take some nice piercing, some reload.
Just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming. We got too much clutter for the supply pod to land. Do something.
I'd like to get a bit more gold before level 25, just in case it takes a few rerolls for that one. Ooh, big fire rates. Ideally I'd get some more scanners, but I don't think I'm going to pass that up on weapon specialist. LEADSTORM. Guess we're gonna have to take some damage here. Big fire rates.
Just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
I wish there was like a freezing weapon that had sidearm available, so I could get a bit more time to mine stuff. Big reload. don't think so. No. The Subata, that works. It'll give us a little bit of cover from behind to cover up the LEADSTORM.
Objective completed. Excellent job.
We'll take a reload there. I'm mainly just looking for fire rate and reload speed on the support weapons to trigger the passive a little bit more, and any sort of debuffs they might have. We'll take a bit of XP. Should be some decent XP here with everything about to get blown up by some of these detonators. I'll take a fire rate over a close damage. I guess we'll go damage there. Damage on the LEADSTORM, see what else we got. I think I'm going to take the big fire rate and reload. It'll probably be easier to scale that up if we keep it as kinetic, and that helps a lot with the passive. Luck, big pickup. That's a tough choice. I think I'm going to take luck this early on, but we could use both of those. I think I'm just going to push some damage on the elites every time our LEADSTORM is reloaded. Pretty big reload.
Speed it up, miner. The bugs grow stronger.
Status is pretty bad. Let's re-roll that. Paint job, sure. Let's see what we get off of that. A second sidearm. One more to go. Big movements. There's nothing great here anyways. Fire rate, reload. We have the overclocks there, so let's see what we get here with a bit of reload. We will take some pierce. Well, that lowers the fire rate, but that would probably not be great unless I was going fire on that as well. I'll take this just in case I get the turbo encabulator, which gives damage and reload speed based on the number of overclocks, but I don't like losing the fire rate there. Reload. More movements.
Get yourself onto that drop pod. It's about to head out.
Big fire rates.
Stage completed. Onwards to stage 3.
LEADSTORM level, some good damage stats. Kind of low on movement. I mean, gold. Well, I'm low on both. We'll take a cheap fire rate for that. Some potency and reload since we're heavy on nitra. Piercing for the LEADSTORM. What do we have on there? Sidearm? I guess we'll get a little bit more.
We've got work to do and quotas to meet. You have your objectives.
Friggin' hell.
big reload.
The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. They got a swarm incoming. Objective completed. Supplies ready. Clean up the LZ. I'm not scared of you.
Some decent proj damage. I think the support weapons will actually end up doing quite a bit of damage just because they're constantly hitting and the LEADSTORM isn't.
Swarm detected.
So having global upgrades like that is actually quite helpful. Sure.
The swarm is heading your way. Load up.
Bit of HP.
Good work. Supply pod inbound.
See that coming, sucker?
Some global damage. Gold scanner? Yup. Let's get some good damage on the shellback while I can, since they're pretty hard to hit with a LEADSTORM. Loop around and then follow him a bit. Run away as we're reloading. I'll take a LEADSTORM. Oh, I can actually hit him with the rocks here, probably. Who's chasing who?
I can move it. They're everywhere.
Bit of crit chance. Big damage. I guess we will grab that, since it's a lot higher. Fire rates.
My scanner is overloading, Miner. Gotta move on. Objective completed, Miner. Get to the drop pod before it heads back to orbit.
Reload.
Get yourself onto that drop pod. It's about to head out. That's one for the books. Taking you to stage 4, Miner.
LEADSTORM, some nice kinetic. We'll take some fire rates, and I'll hold a little bit of nitra here in case we find anything else for the LEADSTORM. Fire rates, fire rates. We can get even more fire rate and reload. I'll take a bit of pickup since I'm kind of light on that.
This is a simple mining mission. Get it done, Miner.
That guy's mission. He really has a cozy job. I killed the Looper, and I'm not
reload.
The sky just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
Yeah, I've played a few builds kind of like this before, and I usually die on them. I think the early stubby actually did carry my early game quite a bit. And then I betrayed it by giving it sidearm.
Exemplary work. We've achieved the objective.
Then one more level on the LEADSTORM and everything is going to be really weak.
The swarm is heading your way. Load up.
I've got it in the mouth! Sorry. Your own fault for me.
Supply pod active. Locate the LZ and prep it for landing.
Big reload into an overclock. We'll take fire rate and reload speed for that.
The swarm is heading your way. Load up.
That's a lot of detonators coming right at me. It's a lot of Praetorians now. Take some more reload there. Try and tip it, and then come back a bit later maybe. Once we can get some space somewhere. Global damage, I guess. There's so many freaking bugs, I can't move. Weapon box is really cool on weapon specialists if you get another projectile weapon, and we could get a potential fourth sidearm. Nope. Shredder Swarm with a bit of reload speed. That does absolutely nothing. Well, here we go. The favorite, massive damage fire rate, debuff all our other weapons.
The clock's ticking. Get it right.
We can still get some nice reload speed bonuses from some other artifacts that scale with either overclocks or number of tags on weapon. I'll take a little bit more HP.
It's growing out of hand. Get it done, miner.
Alright, let's try and blast them now, I think.
Gotta move on. It's getting worse.
take some decent armor. Try and follow him a bit. We need to end this fairly soon. See if we can cut a path through here, hopefully. We'll take a bit of reload for that. I don't know if I can really go for the XP. It doesn't really feel like I can fight my way through the horde right now. Fire rates. Fire rate, big paint job, LEADSTORM level, some HP, big fire rate, some more mining.
Surely next time will be better.
We'll take a big XP, I think.
Something epic with this.
The dreadnought will emerge when you destroy the skull cocoons, and watch out for elites. Keep your cool, you will make it out just fine.
Does the Shredder Swarm knock them back if you directly hit them with it? Or what was that on the slasher there?
Exemplary work. You've achieved your objective in a record time. Can't drop supplies for you yet. Prep the landing zone for impact.
God, the LEADSTORM just feels so weak for how situational it is. I've invested so much into it. Multi-tool, that's fantastic with the weapon box. We're at 24. It goes up to 49%. Some nice global damage. So that brings the LEADSTORM down to 2.08 out of a base of 6. We could still use a bit more on that, I think. Decent HP. I could really use some movement speed actually, so that I can reposition myself and actually hit the bosses. Also, it's kind of weird that the LEADSTORM will aim at something off to the side and completely miss what you're trying to hit a lot of the time. I guess you just have to have the boss be the closest to you, but that's pretty hard to set up sometimes. I guess we'll take a paint job on that to try and get all the overclocks done later on. Yeah, I just can't even hit him a lot of the time with the LEADSTORM. Kind of silly. Let's take the big kinetic because my single target is really bad, it feels like. Luck probably the best overall, but I might need some help here. You would think a weapon like this would be good against a single target when you're actually hitting them, but it is just not a good weapon. Big fire rates. I could be mining so much, but it takes a lot of micromanaging to actually have the boss damage here. Then we have to get up here before we get swarmed by slashers. I'll take a reload if it's close to damage.
Impressive work, Miner. The Dreadnought never knew what hit it.
Proj damage, some pickup, paint job, LEADSTORM level, proj damage, some kinetic. Need some nitro stuff now. We'll take a cheap fire rate and probably save the rest for when we have more gold.
Get it done, Miner.
Wonder what slowness stemming in the campaign.
surprise for you yet. Prep the landing zone for impact. Prepare to fight for your life. A big swarm is approaching. Impact imminent.
Coupons are pretty nice to go with our scanners and buy some more stuff in the shop. I could use some more movement speed to help with the positioning issues on the bosses.
Objective completed. Excellent job. You need to move it.
Yeah, it's really hard to hit elites at long range, even if you have enough piercing on the LEADSTORM, because it always just shoots to the side at something nearby. I guess I need to stay at very close range and chase the shellbacks as they're spinning away from me. Try and get damage on them. That's a decent fire rate. And it's getting close to level 18.
This ain't a picnic, Miner. The bugs are all over you.
Think you can kill me? Well, think again.
Threat level keeps increasing. You need to work faster.
I don't know if I want to go for that nitro. We're kind of struggling with the elites right now. That'll give me an overclock and I do like fire rates. Acid, that'll help debuff a bit. Although I can't really leverage it that well since it'll be debuffing enemies behind me and then my main damage is in front of me. Maybe if I get it to level 18 I can add the shot in front of me as well to help out a bit with that.
Quota is satisfied. The drop pod is arriving. Get moving. It won't hang around.
This one's for Tom.
We do eventually want the overclocks on that in case I get the encabulator. So I guess we'll go purple on it. So many numbers, but they're so weak.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
crits, a bit more pickup.
Next.
We'll take a cheap level and finish that off. 200%. Well, I do have the drones for that, but I'm not really scaling them, and 200% fire rate is so good with the weapon specialist passive. I think I'd probably be stupid to not take that one. It's more mining, big fire rates.
Next.
We can finish that off, and I do have an excess of nitra here, 200% fire rate for that as well.
Baby.
Kind of want to check for a couple more nitra upgrades. Nothing really. I guess we'll take a bit more fire rate then.
Get ready. We'll be with you shortly. Let's get the middle. The skeletons lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming. Just lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming. Objective completed. Excellent job.
What do you guys think nitra and gold taste like? Since they're eating precious minerals that gets them killed, they must taste pretty good to the loot bugs. We'll take a nice reload for that. I think that lets it debuff a bit more for my other weapons. Passive is starting to trigger pretty nicely at least, and that helps a lot with the AoE. Nitra on 7th floor. I do have a lot of rerolls, but oh well. I really hate when there's more than one shellback, because then they just cover each other and it's hard to ever get damage on them. So if we can nuke this one down, that'll be a big help. Nope. LEADSTORM. Alright, let's try and finish this one to make it a bit easier. Oh, I guess they're all just randomly dead. Well, can't really mine much now. Oh well.
Think you can kill me? Think you can?
The drop pod is about to leave. Get your ass moving, miner.
That could use another overclock, so we'll take a level on it. we get the level 18 on that, then it fires twice as many projectiles, and it will help quite a bit on bosses. Take a cheap level there.
Best. Let's shake it up.
LEADSTORM, bit more pickup.
I want another go.
LEADSTORM, cheap reload, and a paint job. Fire rates.
I'm feeling lucky.
LEADSTORM, some damage.
Load up and get going, miner. We have quotas to fulfill.
I think at this point we probably do need some more good damage artifacts though. Turbo Encabulator would be fantastic. Probably any nitro scaling, since we have 2 of those now.
Prepare to fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching. Prepare to fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching.
Nitra, we do have the shop coupon. It's getting a bit late for luck. We have about 2.5 floors left. But Nitra isn't the most valuable since we're 1 weapon and 4 supports. And it's hard to find enough upgrades for the LEADSTORM to actually use my Nitra effectively. And this is a lot of numbers on screen right now.
Detected. Lock up and get ready.
Feel much better now. I die a little inside every time I have to pick up.
Decent proj damage. I can't quite get the rocks. Okay, something else got them for me, thankfully. Okay, we kept 1 alive so we can farm a bit. And I think I do need some decent damage here. Let's turn the numbers off so I don't accidentally die when I'm this far with a crappy build. I'd like to not mess it up at this point. Need to see where I'm going at this point.
You ugly son of a bitch.
Decent proj damage.
This one for Carl. Bring it, backers!
For 3 weapons, it's not terrible. We do have a lot of fire rates, and it'll help with the passive a bit.
The drop pod is about to leave. Get your ass moving, miner.
Got him.
Never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you
Movement,
make it back.
definitely need that. I'll take a bit more luck, fire rates. And I think I might want to hold for the nitro powder now. It's going to be a pretty nice damage boost. Fire rates.
Yeah,
We will take them for a projectile weapon that still needs some overclocks.
it's mine. Nope. Try again.
A bit more mining might be helpful.
This is it. Next.
Reload will finish that, so I guess I'll go ahead and get it.
Work harder.
And we'll take the opposite direction so that I can actually stack that up a bit when I'm trying to do full damage to bosses, I think.
This is gonna change everything. Nothing for me here. Let's
Big
try
fire
again.
rate and some
This
lead
one makes me
storm.
wanna be a better dwarf.
That's not bad if I get the encabulator, but if I don't, then I'm just weakening myself.
This is a simple mining mission. Get it done, miner.
Friggin' hell. Loot box looted. I die a little inside every time I have to pick up.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
This one's for Carl.
I am really glad that the gunner has some decent base survivability with some extra HP and armor. And we got some decent upgrades for that as well, because there were a lot of times in this run where it felt like I had to take a few hits to get out of situations I put myself in, since the LEADSTORM just doesn't feel like it clears a path for me good enough.
Too much crap to send in the supply pod. Clear out the LZ, please.
I feel like this build would probably be quite a bit better if I didn't take the favorite on it and just let those light weapons carry me. We need some decent damage here, I think. I mean, that does give a little bit. How's my piercing? 9? That might help a bit. Works on 4 of my primary weapons here.
Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
Fire rates.
Sorry. You're all fault for being slow.
Exemplary work. You've achieved your objective in a record time.
Bloody hell, you're hot to kill. That's all you got, you slippery shit.
Try and stay fairly close to the shellback, but also try not to get surrounded by detonators.
You want some more?
I guess damage.
Drop pod has arrived. Get there before the timer runs out. The drop pod is not going to hang around.
That will teach you.
We finally ramped up to a decent level on floor 9.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house.
And I bet the LEADSTORM will end up being like my 3rd, maybe 4th damage. More LEADSTORM, kinetic,
I'm feeling lucky.
crit chance, some damage.
Let me try again.
I think it might be a bit late for luck now. Damage,
Nothing for me here.
kinetic,
Try again.
crit chance,
Me.
and that's about all. That leaves us with 131% crit chance with the nitro powder.
And destroy the cocoons.
We have a few artifact rerolls left to look for something strong here.
After this, come take the longest shower. Fit to the core of glit and stink. Get so.
So hopefully the Subata firing in front with the acid actually increases my single target a decent amount, because that last boss level was pretty painful. I guess
Pick one of these.
we can make that throw 3 of them, even though they do no damage with the damage we're scaling here.
Please clear it.
I guess they get a bit of kinetic damage.
Feel much better now. Suck on this, you freak of nature. Have a bullet in the fight.
Pickled Nitra? I don't know about that. I think that's going to make me lose, so let's see what else there is. Well, we can get a little bit of crit with that, some nice survivability with that. I might need the extra healing if we have a lot of adds up to keep myself in a decent position to DPS the boss with the LEADSTORM. Like, I might occasionally have to run through some slashers or something just to avoid his attacks and get some good shots on him, so maybe that helps a bit with that.
Beat your maker, Craig.
Alright, we'll turn damage numbers on for a little bit as long as they don't get too bad. We're at 170% crit chance, 1.42 reload, 506 fire rate a second, 15 piercing. So I guess I'll try and line them up and hit them with both with the piercing shots. LEADSTORM. Try and get a bit more on the range guy here. It's actually pretty good damage when I chase them down with the LEADSTORM like that. Alright, let's go for the piercing shots. Kind of hard when he's constantly leaping past me. Okay, that was actually pretty easy. The last boss fight was really rough, but that was a piece of cake. Weapon Specialist passive is triggering pretty often, so that helps out quite a bit when you're at very close range and can hit with several of the shots every time it triggers. So yeah, we finally did the LEADSTORM with all support weapons somehow, favoriting that to improve it a lot at the cost of everything else. We got the weapon box, which combined with the multi-tool for a lot of reload speed, but no turbo encabulator to go with that, and the ammo rig is very important for the weapon specialist. Got some nice piercing as well, some pretty good crit with some nitro scanners, coupons. Pretty solid on the artifacts, I think.
Excellent. Objectives completed. Strap yourself in and come on home.
So we had 45 million on the LEADSTORM, and we had well over double that on one of the support weapons with... Oh wait, I never got sidearm on that, that's why. Oops, okay, we missed it there, I forgot about that. I got it on the first try on those two, and then I forgot about it there. We had about 4 million electrical dots. I'm not sure on the Subata since that was converted after it did a bunch of kinetic. But yeah, LEADSTORM is pretty weak. We could have done a little bit more by aiming it a bit better, but it's just pretty rough right now. Over double the damage from our third weapon, which was supposed to be a support, but never got it. 400,000 projectiles fired. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.